It's the sense of touch. Any real city, you walk, you know? You brush past people, people bump into you. In LA, nobody touches you. We're always behind this metal and glass.
If none of you have heard of Crash, it is a movie that came out in 2004, and actually that year won Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Film Editing, Best Original Screenplay, and actually beat out Brokeback Mountain for Best Picture. Basically, the story of Crash is that multiple different people in Los Angeles, their lives become intertwined. It's a story of like angst and morally questionable actions, and it tackles xenophobia and racism. It's basically it's a propaganda movie, you know, and I love propaganda movies. All right, I love them to death. All right, The Help is like one of my favorite movies. The Green Book that won Best Picture this last year, I really loved. Freedom Riders was a really good one. I love a good propaganda movie. It did win Best Picture, but it is the worst Best Picture movie I have ever seen. And to give you context, I took a class on basically being politically correct in educational classes if I were to be a teacher, which is an important topic to learn because I'm going to be a teacher someday and I'd like to know how to not offend people. So it's fine. But my teacher sat us down and had us watch this whole movie, meanwhile praising it and saying how good it is and how raw it is and how honest it is. And it is insultingly bad. It is ignorant with how things actually go. It is unaware of how people actually are. And it pats itself on the back by the end of it. And it is so bad. It is a mess. It is unrealistic. Let me just give you an example of how bad it is. There is a character in there who is a racist white woman, and then she gets carjacked by black people, which you would think would validate her racism to the fullest extent. And then 3 days later, she is on the phone with her husband saying things like, "I'm angry all the time," and she realizes she doesn't want to be racist anymore. And then she falls down a flight of stairs, sprains her ankle, and then hugs her Mexican maid because she's her only friend. That's not how that would go in the real world. The real world would make it so that if she gets mugged by black people, her racism is validated, and then 3 years down the line, she's gonna want to like get a valet, but make sure not to have it be a black guy because she was carjacked by a black guy once. They just do that all the time. She would avoid black valets 3 years down the road. But instead, in this movie, 3 days after getting carjacked by black people and getting her racism validated, she suddenly doesn't want to be racist anymore. That's not how that works, though. There's a character who's been put in this movie for the sole purpose of her child to get shot by another character whose sole purpose is to shoot the child. There are these two sets of characters whose story means nothing to the rest of the entire movie, and their sole purpose is for this guy to shoot that guy so that you can be sad, alright? Like, this guy comes in with his daughter, and he's like, "Hey, you scared of the outside? Here's an invisibility cloak. Here's an invisible cloak that is bulletproof. And so if you get shot, it won't hurt you." And then he shows up in another scene where he tells the shop owner to change his door. And then he shows up in another scene where the shop owner comes to his house and pulls a gun on him. And then the daughter comes running out and hugs him. And the shop owner shoots him. And then he cries because, "Oh my gosh, my daughter just got shot in front of me." But it turns out that she did not get shot, and because she was wearing the invisibility thing that gave her bulletproof powers. But also she did not get shot because the shop owner bought blanks instead of real bullets. And basically this entire scene was just so that you could be sad, and it did nothing for the story. It pisses me off, honestly. Another thing, the shop owner, he has a daughter who works in a hospital, and she says she works in a hospital, and you're supposed to think that she's a nurse. But it turns out through a little glimpse of later when she's attending another dead character, basically, she walks out, she's actually the doctor, and we're supposed to be like, "What? She's the doctor?" I could have never guessed. This movie is fantastic. Like, honestly, my teacher came out and he's talking about like, "And you see that reveal where the woman's a doctor? Like, you thought that she was a nurse, but no, she was really a doctor." To which I'm thinking, I didn't really think about it. I'm not surprised. I didn't really get fazed buy it. Yeah, she's a woman doctor. That's great. There's another part of the story where you have racist cop and not racist cop. Not racist cop is a rookie. Racist cop is a veteran. Racist cop pulls over a black couple. Racist cop gropes black woman. Non-racist cop is like, hey, don't grope that black woman. And racist cop is like, hey, shut up. And then non-racist cop goes to black police chief, tells him that racist cop is racist. And black police chief is like, I would know if he's racist. I'm black. And so he gets reassigned. But before he gets reassigned, racist cop tells not racist cop, hey, I've been in this business for years. You've only been here for like a day. You don't know what it's like out there. I have a reason for being racist. You'll understand. And non-racist cop is like, nope. And then he talks down groped woman's black boyfriend from basically inciting cops to shoot him, because what happens is like he's super pissed off and he goes and he starts confronting cops and he's like, shoot me then, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. And non-racing cop goes up to him and he's like, hey, I know why you're angry. I know you. I know why you're angry. Get back in your car. Don't let these people shoot you. Just walk away. Be okay. And black guy's like, fine, and walks away. And non-racist cop just witnessed a scenario where a black guy was reasonable and did not hurt him and whatever. And yet for some reason, 2 days later, which again is 2 days after racist cop told him that he has a reason for being racist, and non-racist cop said, no, I won't be racist, and never got a single reason to be racist, picks up a black guy off the side of the street, and then suddenly gets super suspicious of him. And then the black guy sees a little angel statue on the hood of his car and is like, people. And non-racist cop is like, what, you mean white people? And the black guy is like, no, wait, hold on, let me show you. And it reaches into his pocket because he has this statue of the thing that the guy has on the dashboard also in his pocket, little copy. They happen to have the same statue thing that black guy thought was funny, that non-racist cop seems to think that he is laughing at him for. And then, because he's reaching into his pocket, non-racist cop, who had no other reason to be racist up to this point, pulls a gun and shoots black guy. And now he's suddenly racist. 2 days after having no reason to be racist. Where did that come from? Honestly, there is only one scene in this whole movie that I found compelling. It was, racist cop gropes black woman. Later in the movie, the black woman gets in a car accident, her car flips, it starts smoking, it's about to blow up, and racist cop is the one on the scene. So when he crawls down to get this driver out of the car, he realizes it's the girl he groped, and holy crap, this is a situation. And the girl realizes this is the cop who groped her. She doesn't want to be saved. She would rather die than be saved by this terrible cop. And that was the most compelling part of the entire movie, which was otherwise utter crap. Alright? This movie is a mess. It doesn't make sense. All these things are coming out of nowhere. It's blissfully ignorant. And it pats itself on the back for it. And oh my goodness, is it the worst movie I've ever seen. And what made it worse was that I wasn't allowed to say it was a bad movie. My teacher was praising on about it, like, oh, this is a great movie. It's so honest. And all the classmates were like, oh, it is such a good movie. It is so honest about these things. And I'm sitting there like, where is it being honest? It was it's such a bad movie. It was such a bad movie. It was like on the same line as like The Room, alright? Like Tommy Wiseau's The Room, the movie that Disaster Artist is based off of, The Room. That's how bad this movie is, because the story is sloppy and it doesn't make sense, and the characters are sloppy and they don't make sense, and the reasoning is sloppy and it doesn't make sense. It's all very stupid. Watch this movie to laugh. Don't ever watch it thinking it's going to be a good movie. And don't ever watch it thinking it is a good movie, because it is a horrible movie. It makes no sense. You want a good propaganda movie? Go watch The Help. That is a great movie. Go watch The Green Book. That is a great movie. Green Mile, honestly. That's a great movie. But like, Crash is crap. I just needed to get this off my chest because, oh my gosh. It sucked. Is that the monkey you've been talking about? His name is Belle Cereal. Now you know. Belle as in the character from Beauty and the Beast. And Cereal. My name is Joel. My fiance's name is Serenity. Put them together, it's Cereal. So that's Belle Cereal. I'd appreciate a comment about the actual content of my video, man.